Hey everybody, Tom Bullington here with Markets and Motivation for Wednesday, July 1st, 2020. Hard to believe half the year is already over. This is one of the things I wanted to address today, the difference between an inspection and an appraisal. Sometimes clients have questions about this, so I want to make sure I make this as clear as possible. If you do offer on a house and it's accepted, your realtor should set up an inspection period. Typically between 7 to 10 days. I've seen it as high as 14 days. I've seen it as low as 2 or 3 days. But typically it's between 7 to 10 days. That allows for your inspector to be hired, get out to the property, go see in the attic and go see the different rooms, make sure the roof is fine, make sure the appliances are working, et cetera, and basically do it's like a physical. The inspection is like a physical for your house. If everything is okay and you want to close the inspection period without requesting anything, you can certainly do that. Otherwise, you might go back to the seller and say, listen, we have X, Y, and Z. We have issues with the house. The roof has a leak or this or that you want to make sure are fixed before you close, before you actually purchase the home. Once all of that is worked out and you sign an agreement of what's to be reworked, you would sign that, and then it goes into pending status. Once the home goes into pending status, typically what's happening with your lender is behind the scenes, they are working to line up the financing, to line up the money that you need to buy the house, unless you're paying cash. If you're paying cash for a house, you don't need an appraisal, and it's all done. But if you are paying with financing, whether that's 15 or 30 years, you're going to need to have an appraisal done. What's an appraisal? Well, the lender hires an appraiser to come out and basically look at the comparable homes in the area, does a quick drive-by, maybe looks at the property here and there. Really, the ins and outs, the physical standpoint of the home is done by the inspector. The appraiser is much more about what's the value of the home on the market. So we're looking at comparables, we're looking at the neighbors, what they've sold for, what similar homes in the area within 2 to 3 miles have sold for. If you have a split entry or a rambler, number of bathrooms, bedrooms, square feet, things like that. If the appraisal comes back and it matches the purchase price agreed to for the home, then you are in business. Then the lender is fine, and yes, it appraised. Otherwise, if it doesn't appraise, let's say it's a $250,000 house and you agree to purchase it for $275,000. Well, if it's only worth $250,000, the lender's only going to give you that amount of money to purchase the home. They're not going to give you the extra 25 grand that you agreed to purchase. At that point, the seller and the buyer have to negotiate, okay, who's going to make up the difference here? Typically, it's the seller reducing the price down to the appraised value, or the buyer has to pony up the rest of the money in cash that's not financed, so it can't be part of your financing. If everything appraises, if the inspection clears, if it's appraised, fine, then you are free to go and close within probably a couple weeks, and that's when you close and that's when you get the keys. The quote for today, the motivation for today, because I know we talked about the market a lot and about the homes a lot. I have always liked, it's a Chaucer quote, it's from the 14th century, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you want to gain something in life, you need to venture. You need to get off your couch and do something. If you're unable to get out and do things, what can you do online? What can you do to reach out to people virtually with coronavirus and all of these things? Anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's Tom's philosophy for today. Hope all of you are doing well. Again, if you have questions about any of this, please give me a call, 651-402-6356, and have a good Wednesday afternoon.